Welcome to the Leading from Stream to Team Deep Dive, the show where we cut through the noise and unpack the ideas that truly shape organizations, leaders, and the way we work. In meetings everywhere, words like transformation and agility get tossed around as if they solve everything. But here's the reality. Vague definitions have drained them of power. Instead of creating alignment, they create drift. Instead of accountability, they invite ambiguity and often cynicism. The problem isn't the words themselves, it's how we use them. When leaders don't define these terms, teams fill in the blanks. That's when misalignment, rework, and frustration take hold. This episode explores a simple but powerful shift, turning words into work. By defining language with precision, translating it into concrete actions, and measuring progress with evidence, leaders can turn empty buzzwords into real breakthroughs. Because words shouldn't be decoration in a slide deck. They should be operating instructions, clear, actionable, and aligned across the enterprise. So join Ethan and Maya as they show us how to make language work for us, not the other way around.
Imagine your organization as this beautifully engineered ship, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the crew's compasses, they all point in slightly different directions. And the maps, well, they use different symbols.
Mm-hmm.
That really is the kind of linguistic fog we're diving into today. You know, where terms like transformation or agility become so warped, they threaten to run us aground.
Yeah.
You probably felt it, right? Sitting in a meeting, hearing these grand-sounding words, and deep down thinking, okay, what does that actually mean for my team, for my work?
Absolutely. It's incredibly common.
And honestly, that ambiguity can be pretty frustrating.
It really can. Think of it like this. Our words, they're meant to be powerful levers for change, yeah.
Sure.
But when they get fuzzy, they become more like worn-out gears, just grinding against each other.
Yeah, not helpful.
So this deep dive is about resharpening those levers. Our mission today is to explore how essential business language, especially terms like transformation and agility, gets diluted.
Okay.
And why reclaiming precision in our words isn't just about, sounding smart, but about enabling clear execution, real progress.
So turning fuzzy words into action.
Exactly. We're going to offer you practical insights and a framework to turn those fuzzy words into concrete, measurable action. And this really matters to you, the listener, because you've likely felt the confusion these words create firsthand.
Mm-hmm.
When leaders can't specify, from what to what, by when, and how we'll know, teams are often left scrambling.
They just fill in the blanks themselves.
They do. They fill in the gaps with their own assumptions, which, inevitably leads to drift, constant rework, and, frankly, a general sense of cynicism across the organization.
You lose trust.
You do. So our goal today is to give you tools to cut through that noise and drive real clarity, whether you're leading a team, maybe aspiring to, or just trying to understand what's truly expected of you.
Well said. So if we're all kind of nodding along in those meetings, but wondering what's really being said, where does this breakdown actually start? Our sources highlight 5 fascinating ways these buzzwords become these empty vessels. I'd love to hear your take on these because they really resonated with me.
They absolutely do. The first one is elastic usage.
Okay.
This is where the same word gets stretched. It means totally different things across different departments or teams. So IT's agility might mean, say, adopting DevOps.
Right.
While HR's agility means flexible work arrangements. Both are valid, sure, but if you don't clarify, you're just not talking about the same thing at all.
Right. It's like everyone's trying to catch the same ball, but they're playing completely different games. Okay, what's next?
Then there's status signaling.
Oh, yes.
Sometimes people use these grand strategic words not really to clarify what they intend to do, but maybe just to sound important or impressive.
It's a linguistic power play, isn't it?
Right.
We're embarking on a groundbreaking, paradigm-shifting transformation. Sounds great, but what are we actually doing tomorrow?
Precisely what changes. And often, these big terms can act as a proxy for certainty.
Explain that.
Well, leaders might deploy a word like transformation when, in reality, the actual destination or maybe the specific path to get there is still pretty fuzzy, still unknown.
So it creates an illusion of having a plan.
Exactly. Which can feel reassuring for a moment, but it's ultimately unhelpful.
That's a powerful observation.
Okay.
Number 4.
Number 4 is what our sources call tool theater.
Tool theater, I like that.
Yeah. This is the mistaken belief that buying a new platform is the transformation itself. We bought a fancy new AI software, therefore we have transformed.
Huh. It reminds me of someone buying a treadmill and then immediately saying, okay, I'm fit now.
Exactly.
The tool is there, but the real work, the transformation hasn't happened yet. It's a bit like that with these big software rollouts, isn't it?
Absolutely. The treadmill doesn't do the work for you, and neither does the latest enterprise platform. That's a great analogy.
Okay, and the last one.
And finally, there's word inflation. As the stakes in a project or initiative rise, the language used just gets louder, more dramatic, instead of clearer and more specific.
So it's like a linguistic arms race where clarity loses out.
Totally. Everyone ends up shouting instead of communicating.
And what's truly insightful here, and I think often overlooked, is that these vague terms aren't just, annoying. They're incredibly effective at masking a profound lack of true direction.
Exactly right. These 5 causes, they lead directly to tangible negative consequences. Things like misaligned priorities, weak accountability, because how can you be accountable if no one agrees on what for?
Right.
And perhaps most insidiously, the illusion of progress. Activities might increase, there might be a lot of busyness, people running around.
Feels productive.
Feels productive, yeah. But actual outcomes don't really improve because the core understanding just isn't there. It's like our ship from the intro, remember? Everyone is busy rowing, but they're all rowing in slightly different directions.
That's a powerful point about the illusion of progress. It feels like motion, but not necessarily forward motion. But I'm curious, beyond just avoiding those pitfalls, what's the most significant upside for leaders who truly commit to sharpening their language? Is it just about clarity? Or does it unlock something deeper in an organization?
Oh, it absolutely unlocks something deeper. Clear language isn't just, communication best practice. It's the operating system for organizational execution.
Language as an operating system. I like that.
Yeah. Leaders who master this aren't just clearer. They're literally engineering a more effective, more accountable, and ultimately more credible enterprise.
How so?
Because when words are precise, they stop being mere decoration. They become actual operating instructions that everyone can follow. It builds trust, too, because people know what's expected and what they're contributing to.
Okay, so it moves from aspirational fluff to actual marching orders.
Exactly.
I love that idea of language as an operating system.
Yeah.
So how do we install this new, clearer OS? Our sources offer a fantastic practical framework to reclaim language, and it starts with step 1. Define.
Mm-hmm.
This means agreeing on precise operating definitions for these crucial terms.
Right. And for many of our listeners, transformation might conjure up images of maybe new software or a big company-wide reorganization.
Sure. Common interpretations.
But our sources push us to a far more precise definition, not just a vibe or a project, but okay, get ready. A material, measurable shift in how value is created and governed, evidenced by new outcomes like time to value or cost to serve, new ways of working, and durable changes in funding and governance.
Wow. Okay. That's specific. It's a mouthful, yes, but it's packed with specificity.
It is.
That's a powerful definition, expert, and certainly precise. For someone trying to grasp that immediately, what's the core essence of that shift in how value is created and governed? What's the elevator pitch?
The core essence is really moving beyond just doing projects
Okay.
to fundamentally changing how your organization delivers tangible results and adapts to new demands. It's about building a better, more resilient value delivery engine.
Got it. Engine, not just activities.
Exactly. And similarly for agility, right? Instead of it just being about, say, daily stand-ups, we define it as the capacity to sense, decide, and deliver value quickly and safely.
Quickly and safely.
Important, crucial, measured by cycle time, decision latency, release frequency, and customer outcomes. Again, very outcome-focused.
And our sources mention a key test here, right? The 2 different leaders test.
Ah, yes, that's a great litmus test. Could 2 different leaders give the exact same definition without coordinating beforehand?
Mm-hmm.
If the answer is no, you need to refine it further. It's not portable yet.
That 2 different leaders test is incredibly insightful. It's such a pragmatic way to truly check for shared understanding. If you can't pass that, you still have work to do. So once you've defined your terms with that level of precision, we move to step 2, operationalize. This is about translating those big defined words into concrete work, turning them into 3 specific artifacts.
Exactly. These artifacts are what make the abstract real. First, there's scope, or the from to.
From to.
This clearly describes what will be tangibly different in, say, 12 to 24 months. What are we moving from and what are we moving to? It forces clarity on the actual destination.
So not just transformation, but from X to Y.
Precisely. Second, we need to clarify the mechanism, or how. What specific choices and constraints will change to enable this shift? This includes things like new funding models, maybe redesigned governance structures, or even fundamental changes to organizational design. The nuts and bolts.
The engine room stuff.
Exactly. And finally, there's evidence, or so what? Which key metrics will actually move and by how much? This is where you connect the change to observable, undeniable results.
And that leads us perfectly into step 3, measure. Because if you can't measure it, how do you know if you're actually doing it or if it's even working?
Right.
You need to tie each term to, 3 to 5 observable indicators.
Yeah, about that number. For transformation, these could be metrics like the percentage of spend channeled through value streams versus traditional projects.
Okay, can you quickly clarify value stream for listeners?
Sure. A value stream is essentially organizing your work around delivering continuous value to a specific customer or end user, rather than just managing isolated projects in silos.
It's a flow perspective.
Got it. So percent spend via value streams. What else?
Other metrics could be improvements in time to value, maybe NPS or CS scores, a reduction in regulatory findings perhaps, or a lower cost to serve, tangible business outcomes.
Okay. And for agility. If we're talking about agility, you'd look at things like decision latency, how long does it take to get a yes or no, cycle time, how long from idea to production, deployment frequency, the change failure rate, recovery time after an incident. Even employee engagement can be a good indicator.
There are lots of options there.
There are. Now, this raises an important question. How do we ensure these metrics truly reflect progress and aren't just, vanity metrics or easily gamed?
That's a crucial distinction, expert. Yeah, we don't want to just measure for measurement's sake. So what's your advice for ensuring our metrics are truly meaningful indicators of progress, especially when we're defining something as complex as transformation or agility?
Well, the key is to constantly ask, does this metric directly reflect the value we defined in step 1?
Yeah.
So, for example, if your definition of agility involves faster delivery of customer value, then measuring deployment frequency combined with customer feedback, like NPS or CSAT, gives us a much clearer picture than just deployment frequency alone.
So it's about connecting operational metrics to outcome metrics.
Exactly, to paint that holistic picture. Don't just measure the activity, measure the result of the activity.
You're absolutely right. Measuring just for the sake of it can be another pitfall, a form of tool theater in its own way, right?
It can, yeah.
So to really ensure we're cutting through that linguistic fog, our sources offer a powerful diagnostic. 5 crucial tests you can apply to any language you encounter, or even your own. First, is it falsifiable?
Falsifiable.
Meaning, could you actually prove that it didn't happen?
Yeah.
If your statement is so vague, it can't possibly be disproven. It's probably too fuzzy.
That's a great initial filter. Yeah, if you can't say, no, this isn't happening, then you haven't defined what is happening clearly enough.
Exactly. Okay. Second, is it traceable? Can a frontline team clearly see how their daily work directly contributes to it?
Crucial.
If they can't connect their tasks to the big picture, your language isn't practical. It's just up there.
This is vital for engagement and alignment, isn't it? People need to feel their work matters to the broader objective. Otherwise, why bother?
Totally. Third, is it portable? Does it mean the exact same thing whether you're talking to someone in risk, tech, or operations? Or does it stretch?
Back to that elastic usage problem.
Exactly. If not, you've got elastic usage rearing its head again. Fourth, is it measurable? Are there both leading and lagging indicators that show progress?
You need both. Leading indicators give you that heads up, right? They allow you to course correct early, while lagging indicators confirm whether you've actually achieved the desired outcome in the end. Both are indispensable.
Leading for steering, lagging for arrival confirmation.
Got it.
And finally, number 5, is it time-bound?
The deadline.
Yeah. When will you know if you're actually on track or if you've achieved it? A deadline, a milestone, a review point, something concrete in time.
And this is key. If any, really any, of those 5 tests fail,
Just one.
then your language is still too fuzzy. It hasn't reached the level of precision needed for effective action. It's like our ship, still having different maps. Until everyone agrees, you're just drifting.
Okay, 5 tests. Falsifiable, traceable, portable, measurable, time-bound. Powerful checklist. Let's bring these concepts to life now with a work translation table, using examples straight from our source material. This shows how you can transform those buzzwords into concrete action.
Yeah, let's make it real.
So, for example, instead of just saying, we're doing a transformation, which could mean anything.
Anything at all.
You would say, we will shift 60% of change spend to value streams in 12 months. Remember, value streams meaning organizing around customer value flow.
Okay, very specific.
And the practical details then involve things like updating the portfolio and funding model, maybe establishing a lean portfolio management LPM cadence, which is essentially a structured way to review and prioritize work across those value streams and simplifying governance. It's a huge difference in clarity, isn't it?
What a difference indeed. No more guessing what transformation means in this context. It's defined by the spend shift and the supporting mechanisms.
Exactly. Or instead of the vague, we need agility.
Which everyone nods to.
Everyone nods, yeah. You articulate reduce idea to production cycle time from 90 to 30 days by Q4.
Boom, tangible goal.
And the practical steps here include things like implementing smaller batch sizes, maybe automated approvals under clear guardrails, and building out a robust DevSecOps pipeline, which, for listeners, integrates development, security, and operations to automate and speed up software delivery.
These aren't just buzzwords anymore. They're actual blueprints for work.
Blueprints. Perfect word. How about we'll be customer-centric? Another classic.
Oh, yeah. Heard that one a few times.
Instead, you commit to improve onboarding NPS by plus 20 points and reduce customer drop-off by 30% in 2 quarters.
Measurable customer outcomes.
Right. This means forming dedicated journey teams, setting up an A/B testing cadence, and maybe conducting weekly voice of customer reviews. Real actions tied to real customer results.
Makes customer-centric mean something specific?
Exactly. And finally, maybe we'll empower teams. Everyone wants empowered teams, right?
Of course. But what does it mean?
Well, you define it. Maybe as decisions up to, say, $500,000 can be made within the value stream in 5 days or less.
Wow, that's concrete empowerment.
Yeah. The details. Revising the delegation of authority document, establishing clear guardrails so teams know the boundaries, and actively tracking decision latency. It's about making empowerment tangible, observable, not just a feel-good phrase.
These examples really highlight how moving from the abstract to the specific makes all the difference, doesn't it? It takes all the guesswork out of what good actually looks like.
It really does. And to illustrate this even further, let's look at a quick mini case study from the sources. This is a story about a bank where, well, words really got in the way.
Okay, let's hear it.
The context was pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
This bank announced a big, agile transformation. Sound familiar?
Very familiar. Classic scenario we see all too often.
So fast forward 12 months. Hundreds of people had been trained in agile methods, lots of activity, but remarkably little impact on the actual business results.
Lots of motion, no progress. Everyone's busy, maybe doing stand-ups, using new boards, but nothing's truly shifting where it counts.
Exactly. The diagnosis was clear. Agility meant completely different things to different people across the bank.
Ah, the elastic usage problem again?
It's a textbook case. To some, it was just about daily stand-ups. To others, it was all about implementing DevOps tools. And to the risk department, it simply meant getting faster approvals from them.
So completely different interpretations.
Totally. There was no shared definition, and crucially, no specific evidence targets. It was a textbook case of elastic usage combined with maybe a proxy for certainty. The ship was sailing all right, but with no single agreed-upon destination on the map.
So what did they do? How did they fix it?
Well, this is where the framework comes in. They applied it to reframe the entire initiative.
Okay. So first, they precisely defined agility, not as a set of practices, but as a measurable outcome. Specifically, reduce cycle time from an average of 75 days down to 30 days, and cut decision latency from 20 days down to just 7 days.
Wow, specific targets.
Very specific. They also committed to moving 40% of the change spend to value streams within 2 quarters. And they instituted clear quarterly outcome reviews to track progress against those metrics.
So, same people mostly.
Pretty much the same people, yes, but now armed with dramatically clearer language, clearer targets, a shared understanding.
And here's where it gets really interesting. The results. After just 9 months of operating under this new clarity,
What happened?
the results were dramatic. Their average cycle time was down to 33 days, almost hit the target. Decision latency dropped to 8 days again, huge improvement. And their onboarding net promoter score, NPS, improved by 14 points.
Incredible.
Isn't it? It wasn't about hiring waves of new talent or investing millions in entirely new tech. It was fundamentally about the power of clear, shared language guiding the same people to achieve significantly better results.
That really underscores the point, doesn't it? The ship's crew was capable all along. They just needed a shared, specific destination marked clearly on the map.
Precisely. It truly does. It shows that clarity can be the most powerful and often the most overlooked catalyst for organizational performance.
Absolutely.
So, okay, this sounds great in theory, and the case study makes it real. But how can you, our listener, make this real in your own context, maybe starting this quarter? Our sources offer 3 powerful leader moves you can make.
Actionable steps, good.
First one, run an elastic words audit, and you could do this in just 2 weeks.
Okay, what's involved?
List your organization's top 10 change-related words. Think transformation, agility, platform, innovation, empower, customer-centric, you know the ones.
The usual suspects.
Exactly. Then go talk to people. Capture the current interpretations of each word from, say, 5 different functions or departments. Just exposing that variance, seeing it written down will be incredibly insightful and often a little shocking.
That audit is a real eye-opener, I bet. It highlights exactly where your communication compasses are pointing in different directions. It makes the invisible visible.
Totally. Okay, leader move number 2. Publish a clarity charter. Maybe within 4 weeks after your audit.
Clarity chart. I like the sound of that.
Yeah. This should be a concise document, maybe just 4 pages. Yeah. And it needs to contain the agreed-upon operating definitions for your key terms, the ones you just audited.
Okay, the shared definitions.
Yep. Plus, clear from 2 statements for your major initiatives. Your specific evidence targets, remember, 3 to 5 key metrics per term. And really important, explicit decision rights and guardrails. So teams know exactly what they can decide themselves without needing endless escalation.
So it's basically your ship's shared updated map and rulebook.
Exactly. That charter becomes the single source of truth, removing all that linguistic guesswork and ambiguity.
Makes sense. And the third move?
And finally, install a language cadence. Make it quarterly.
A cadence. Like a meeting.
Yeah, like a regular check-in.
Yeah.
Open your quarterly business reviews or whatever your main review forum is with specific word work checkpoints. Ask the tough questions. Are our definitions still fit for purpose? Are the indicators we chose actually moving? What needs refinement based on what we've learned?
So it's not a one-and-done exercise.
Definitely not. It's an ongoing practice of maintaining that shared map, adjusting course as needed. Because markets shift, right? Strategies evolve. Your language needs to keep pace.
That iterative review is essential, and our sources even provide a template for communicating without buzzwords, which is really helpful. It explicitly states the destination, the timeline, the key metrics, and the mechanisms, the how.
Can you give an example of what that sounds like?
Sure. Instead of just saying we're improving onboarding, it might sound like this. By December 31st, we will launch digital onboarding across all retail channels with the maximum 10-minute completion time.
Okay, specific.
Cutting customer drop-off during the process by 30% and raising the onboarding NPS by 15 points. See? Clear outcomes, clear timeline.
And the mechanism.
Yeah.
The how.
Right. It would continue. We'll achieve this by fully funding the dedicated onboarding value stream, delegating approvals under new, clearly defined risk guardrails, and automating 3 key back-end controls.
Wow. Notice how clear and unambiguous that is. There's almost no room for interpretation there.
Exactly. Every team member knows precisely what success looks like and how their work contributes to it. No fog.
That's a perfect example of how specific you need to be. Now, while you're implementing these strategies, there's some common pitfalls to avoid, right?
Oh, definitely. Traps to look out for.
First, don't confuse a tool with the transformation. We talked about tool theater.
Right.
Buying a platform might amplify clarity if used well, but it doesn't replace the need for clear definitions and outcomes.
Right. The tool serves the goal. It isn't the goal itself.
Also, beware of metric monoculture. What's that?
That's when you focus obsessively on just one type of metric, like development team velocity, without balancing it with customer outcomes or system health metrics.
And the danger there is?
It often invites gaming the system. Teams hit the velocity target, but quality suffers, or customers aren't actually happier. You get that illusion of progress again. Activities look good on paper, but the actual desired outcomes don't move.
Right. Activity over outcome.
Got it. What else?
Remember, definitions aren't one and done. Markets shift, competitors move, things change. So you have to revisit your clarity charter regularly, probably quarterly, like you said, with the cadence.
Keep the map updated.
Exactly. And finally, maybe the most important one, the executive exception.
Reading.
If senior leaders don't consistently use the shared, defined terms themselves, if they slip back into buzzwords, then no one else will take it seriously either. It absolutely has to start and be reinforced at the top.
The captain and the first mate must be using the same compass and map as everyone else. No special dialects allowed.
Perfectly put. And if you're wondering what great communication, really sounds like in this context, here's a quick rubric.
Okay, a checklist for great.
Yeah. A strong vision. It should be one sentence that a frontline team member can repeat easily from memory.
Simple, memorable.
Your strategy should articulate maybe 3 to 5 clear choices, including, importantly, what you won't do. Trade-offs are key to real strategy.
Focus is crucial.
The plan should clearly lay out the next 2 quarters of milestones, and they must be explicitly tied to the desired outcomes, not just activities.
Milestones linked to results.
For measures, aim for maybe 3 leading and 3 lagging indicators, ideally all visible together, maybe on a single page or dashboard. Keep it focused.
Simple visibility.
And for cadence, establish that regular, maybe monthly inspect and adapt cycle. For both your language are the definitions working, and the evidence are the metrics moving.
Vision, strategy, plan, measures, cadence.
Got it. So, wrapping this up, what does this all mean for our listener?
Cool. Ultimately, words are the very first system that leaders control, right? It's the most fundamental tool.
It is.
And when you define concepts like transformation and agility, not as these abstract ideas, but as observable, measurable shifts anchored in concrete choices, clear guardrails, verifiable evidence, you instantly replace organizational theater with genuine traction.
Yeah. From fog to focus.
Exactly. Sharpening your language isn't just about better communication. It leads directly to better alignment, much stronger accountability, and frankly, undeniable credibility for leadership and the entire effort.
Yeah.
It's really about ensuring your organization's ship is sailing purposefully, with every single crew member understanding the shared destination and how to get there.